He took the
Nico Walker, the madman, the maniac that created this big of a film. Just pause and take a moment to think about this for a second. Imagine writing up a film, then imagine making it within high school, and now imagine releasing this film to the masses of society and even going as far as to release it in an auditorium in a public movie theater. Now that's impressive. At this point, you can't really just hate this film, because even if you do, then you're probably just really envious as fuck. You can't help but respect yourself and respect the concept of what I just told you. That's exactly how I feel towards this motherfucker right here. Teenagers. A film that was never as easy to make. Trust me, I witnessed how everything went down, and it was chaotic. But through the backs being turned and the constant ridicule that Nico faced, he persevered and created this chaotic and impactful film. The film follows Johnny Comina, a senior student who is trying to distract himself from his recent breakup by making a film, or should I rather say, a documentary, which captures the gritty stories of Johnny's friends. In between the various interviews, Johnny's having a dilemma between him and his best friend Charlie Blue. Now I don't really want to spoil anything, since I highly recommend you watch this film just to experience it, but what I will want to discuss is the message behind this whole film and what makes Teenagers the most teenage film ever. Now, in order to understand Teenagers, you're going to have to watch it with an open mind, because this film gives a big fuck you to how almost every film was made. We all know the formula by now. We meet our main character, their goals, beliefs, etc. We get to the story, the climax, the blah blah blah, whatever. You already know the fucking thing. Basically, there's a certain order that a film follows, but in Teenagers, these orders are twisted. Everything is practically everywhere. The only time we truly feel like we're going in order is when we take a break from all these interviews and dive back into the present day, where Johnny is facing some issues that involve Charlie. And then we jump right back into the chaotic masterpiece. And what really makes it a chaotic masterpiece? Well, the people. The interviews are the soul of this film. They're what makes this film even more unique as it is. I actually had the honor to star in one of these interviews. I remember going to a park near the area to meet with Nico when we filmed inside these tunnels. My experience being filmed was rather quite comforting. I didn't feel afraid or shy. To be honest, once I felt like Nico was beginning to record, I just felt compelled to speak about what's been going on with my life. And I imagine almost everyone who was being interviewed felt the same way as well. We take a minute to sit down and take on the shoes of these people, these adolescents who have suffered and practically been through hell and back. And if you think that statement was a little too exaggerated, then go watch the film and see for yourself, because I was shocked by how much these people have gone through in just under 20 years of their lives. Everyone goes personal and deep with what they talk about, and you never see a fake moment sprinkled in within these interviews. You feel the emotions that they radiate, and you can take a look into their eyes and know that they're being genuine with what they're saying to you, the audience, right now. These stories are a rainbow of emotions. They're scary, heartbreaking, thrilling, joyful, and bittersweet. You don't end up feeling good near the end, but that's practically the goal of this film. Teenagers isn't your average Netflix attempt to represent how teenagers live by the day. Teenagers is the most accurate representation of what a teenage film is. Nobody lives in a beautiful two-story home with a pool in the backyard. Some are living in the ghetto, and some are living decently fine. There is no fairy tale relationship going on within the film. As a matter of fact, Johnny is trying to get rid of the thoughts about his ex and move on. This film is pretty much devoid of romance, which honestly is a relief, because Jesus Christ, there are so many fucking teenage films that rely on half-ass romance plots. We don't get that. We hear these teenagers talk about sex, drugs, violence, sexual harassment, and practically everything that somebody this young should never have to deal with. But that's the sad truth in the end. The fact that these teenagers are not living a fictional fairy tale. The fact that these teenagers are actually telling you everything, and it's unscripted. It's all unfiltered. You hear the truth, and that hits harder when you start to think about it. But I think the most interesting character is the film itself. When you watch the movie, you're taken through a roller coaster of emotions. You smile at some scenes, and you might end up crying through other scenes. Some moments might feel like you're looking at a reflection of yourself, which could be painful to watch. But no matter what, you still feel somewhat dirty. And I think it has a lot to do with the way this film was shot and edited. And the cinematography switches back and forth from found footage to third person, and sometimes the quality can be grainy and grimy. But even then, it has a purpose for why it is shot this way. You hardly see any Hollywood-style angles or shots and scenes. You get rather spontaneous camera movement. These two elements reflect the purpose of the film, which is to expose you to the harsh, explicit, and spontaneous lives that these teenagers are facing. So yeah, it is meant to look dirty because these teenagers are literally living a dirty life. In a city that is meant to gamble your life away, you will find the next generation growing in hate, growing in homes devoid of love and acceptance. And this film is their way of speaking up about it. It is their way to escape and feel comforted and heard. There's honestly no way to truly hate this film. This movie is like a personal essay that you turn in, and it doesn't matter whether you're wrong or right because there was never really a true answer anyways. And I think that's what this film symbolizes. This is meant to be unique and different. This is meant to make you feel uncomfortable. This is meant to make you question, what the fuck am I even watching? This is meant to be a plotless film. To be honest, I can even go as far and just describe this film as the modern day Gummo. By the way, if you haven't seen that film, I highly suggest you watch it as well because that is the true inspiration behind Teenagers. Teenagers is a spontaneous masterpiece. It tells you the stories of many innocent souls who are dealing or dealt with troubling situations. There's no real genre to describe this film because it practically has every genre mixed into this. It's like a salad, you know? A salad that you dig in and leaves you with a bittersweet aftertaste. But beyond all the best metaphors I can come up with and describe how different this film truly is, in the end, this is the most teenage film ever made. If future filmmakers ever want to know how teenagers truly live and go through, then this is the movie that they should definitely watch because this is as accurate as it can get. Teenagers, a film by Nico Walker. It was honestly really amazing to see one of my close friends releasing film while they're in high school. Just the concept of it is just like, wow, fucking insane. I can't help but feel so damn fucking proud for him. If you want to check out this film, then the link will be in the description below. Support this motherfucker, dude. Like, honestly, he deserves all of it. He deserves it. Seriously. So much. Kudos to him, dude. Kudos to him. Seriously. If you already seen it, then feel free to express your opinions and thoughts in the comments. Honestly, anything can be accepted since the film's only true message was to speak about how the youth is living right now. I can't wait to see what more this madman has in store for us. But pretty much, that's the end of the video. So if you excuse me, I'm gonna go scratch my fucking balls because they're itching like crazy and I gotta go take a fat fucking shit and figure out why my fucking throat is so sore. I don't know. I was struggling to read this shit. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh my god. I don't have COVID. I literally got a COVID vaccine earlier this week. Goodbye.